Thursday.
Instead of
Because we
Wednesday.
didn't go on live on yesterday.
Because we had company.
Yeah, so, and we was having too much fun. So,
yeah.
We got a little
you
caught
call
up.
that fun because they had me cooking. That's what they had me doing.
Oh,
so that's probably why it was fun for them, but it wasn't fun for me.
Very fun. When I say fun, I mean fun with a capital F. I don't know, like that English. Let's adjust that a little bit.
You know, I wanted to also say I like this camera better than yours.
Cause you have a better camera.
Hey, Lenora.
Why you act like you don't know?
Hey, Lenora. How are you?
Healing All of Me is in the building.
Welcome in,
Healing All of Me. I'm adjusting the camera. Your camera a little bit different, so I gotta get the settings right.
Yeah. So I forgot what I was gonna say. I had something to say.
We had company. That's what
we had company. Oh, that's what made me want to have a question for today, you guys. In relationship.
He'll only said my two-face. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for the like as well.
So sweet. Yes, thank you.
All right.
Okay, so this is one of the questions I had because it came up yesterday. Even when I had a phone call and stuff, it came up where why is it? That's what I said.
Okay.
Why is it when people get married, a woman's role is automatically cooking, cleaning, laundry, taking care of the kids, blah, blah, blah. And I understand there's men that do it, but it's like the automatic, even for women, it switches in their mind like, I need to cook this and this and that.
Because that's what you have to think about it, especially generationally, like gender roles. Like, I feel like probably this upcoming generation, I say my generation, still some of my generation might have that, but especially like the one upcoming under us, is going to be a whole different mentality because we had gender roles for so long, and that was so instilled in society and in culture. The woman does X, Y, and Z. The man does X, Y, and Z. We have these traditional roles. At this point, we have societally outgrew that. That's not sustainable. You can't even hardly really.
But women do it all the. But that's not true because women do it all the time. Even if you're looking at relationships on like social media,
yeah,
you always see it like, oh, the woman is doing it. Now you do see some men doing it. I'm not knocking them, and I'm not even upset about it. I'm just wondering why is it something if everything did all this dramatic change in life?
Yeah.
Why is it we still say we gotta cook, clean, and do all that? I don't mind cooking sometimes. Like it didn't really become a problem with me cooking until I had to cook for like a whole football team. That's when it really became like, I might not want to cook. But besides that part, cooking really doesn't take long to do. It's just you and your spouse. But it just in my mind was like, why is it now? Like even now, oh, women want to be, I can do anything a man can do, and blase, blase, blase. Yeah. Why are we still holding on to the old traditions of the woman cooking and cleaning, taking care of the kids, doing this and doing that? Why are we still holding on to those things in our generation?
Healing All of Me said that's from the beginning of time, but it's about what to agree on. And I would say this, like, I wish I could give a better perspective, but unfortunately I can't. Yeah. I live in and around different households that didn't ever really have that. Like even my grandparents, primarily my grandmother did cook, but that wasn't like because that was more so because of his work schedule. But like if they worked on the same, he cooked a lot as well. Even with like I say another example would be like my aunt. Their dynamic, he again worked a lot, but he still did cook. And
I'm not saying that men don't ever cook, but I'm saying the moment we get married,
it's like an assumption.
It's automatically triggers. Now I didn't say it stays like that forever. I didn't say that. I'm just saying it's an automatic trigger. If I say I do today, I'm automatically thinking, let me go in the house and do my wifely duties. Let me cook him a meal. Let me do this. It's like an automatic. Even if you never seen it. Yeah. Even if you was raised in a single home or if you was raised with both parents work and cook, the automatic trigger, the moment you say I do, not before, but the moment you say I do, you go, my wifely duties is this and this and this.
Because it's the traditional thing. That's why they call it trad wife or whatever. That's the mentality of upholding these core principles. But just like Healing All of Me says, it's more on what the two agree on.
Yeah.
Even moving forward, even with those assumptions, I feel like we're, again, like I said, angling more and more where even if you assume that you gotta still at some time be like, okay, how's this gonna be the case? Because nowadays a lot of couples and stuff, especially if they're newly into this and not well off, you're going to have to balance two jobs, even if you have a part-time or something like that. There's a lot more expectations in terms of us coming together, you know?
Well, I know that, and that's not the conversation. Like, I got all that. That's not the conversation. I'm just saying.
Why is it
why is that? Yeah, like for me,
still.
I know why I went straight into when I got married. Because I already, before we got married, I laid the rules down. I'm a housewife. I don't want to work. I'll manage the house. And I'm going to just tell you, I was horrible at it. In the beginning, I was horrible. I cook and do all that, and I was horrible. And then I got to the point where Chris got mad. He was like, okay, why can't we just have a full dinner? Why do we got to have one or the other? Either you going to do side dish or you going to do just nothing but meat.
Why we got to figure this out. What's really going on?
Why we can't have a full dinner? Why we got to have a side dish for dinner, or are we going to have meat for dinner?
We can't have both. He said, what am I going to get? Okay. Why can't I get...
He wanted the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I don't even know, because I know every time my mom made dinner, she made all this stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't know where I come up with doing just a side dish. I don't know where it comes from.
Here comes the thing, too. You also have to learn your own...
Yeah, it is. But I'm just saying... I just, like I said, I have friends that recently got married, and that's the first thing they said is, I got to start cooking and doing this and that. And I'm like, what makes us just go right in it? And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just my thing is, why is that's the first thing? And I think it's even the first thing for men. Like, I don't think men just go into marriage saying, let me, I got to start cooking. I got to start cleaning. I don't think men go in thinking like that. I think they're more like, their minds is probably more, I got to take care of the household. I got to be more of the breadwinner than she is. I got to, even if she makes more money than me, I got to make sure I manage it. I got to do this.
I got to do my part. I got to pull my weight. Yeah. And, collectively, that's what you're thinking. We talk about it all the time. People have different expectations when they get into marriage. Expectations and reality are different. Like you're saying, when you start things and you're trying to do all this different stuff. All this stuff initially comes to your mind. You're like, oh, I got to do this. I got to do this. Realistically, you learn your own route, but
these people are not even talking about it.
Because they don't have to talk about it. If you look culturally, again, people look within their family. You look at pop culture. What do we grew up? We grew up seeing a lot of different families. What did they have? The Brady Bunch. We had Cosby's. We had all these different families. Typically, who do you see being the homemaker and all that different stuff? Was the wife. The husband would be the bread. Even.
Ain't anybody watching those now?
I'm saying.
And the Cosby Show wasn't like that at all.
I'm saying. Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you.
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying for now that we are so split, and women can do everything a man can do, and we want to be all powerful, and we don't even want men to open the doors for us because. This is gotten on my nerves when it comes to my kids dating, and I'm teaching them to open the doors for a woman. And then they like, the girl won't let me open the door for her. And I'm like, why won't you? And they come out with a stupid conversation because I know how to open my own door.
Yeah, but let's look at
I hope you learned that at 3 years old. Why you act like you don't know how to open the door?
I fully understand and agree with a lot of the sentiment that you're saying. But I feel like what you're not listening to as well.
I'm not listening.
Is, like you said, where does the concept come from? Initially, especially generationally, like I said, unless it's probably a little over my generation and now a generation coming under. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, y'all seen those principles. Yeah. We grow up with who? Y'all generation. Y'all, our parents, our grandparents, our great grand. If y'all you live long enough for the great grands, That's where we typically are learning and pulling from. But like I said, this generation is, I would say, definitely different in terms, like you're saying, all of this equal, um, kind of like changing gender roles and all this different stuff. There's a lot of different conversations. It's a more, I guess, open and freeing topic.
And that's the whole reason I'm saying that. It's all this new stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I understand my generation doing it. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. I'm talking about this new generation. How do you guys come up with this concept if you're not raised with this generation, the generation that does that anymore, and you're not raised with this new foundations and stuff?
Because they mothers and their grandmothers.
No,
did.
their mothers and grandmas are not teaching that
No,
anymore,
that's not what
and they're not,
teaching.
and then you,
That's what
they're
they
not
were doing.
they're not doing it.
The mothers.
The mothers are not doing it. Like, the mothers are not. No, the grandmothers ain't doing it. Ain't nobody doing it. I'm gonna tell you right now who's doing it. The TV, on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all those, Facebook. Those are your TVs.
And what I said, culture, pop culture. That's what you are influenced
So then you
by.
can't. Okay.
You taking all of those in simultaneously.
So then
And
I just.
if you're sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
you.
go ahead.
But let's say you grew up in a household and your mother didn't do it, or your grandmother didn't do it, or your auntie, whoever, any of those typical roles, I guess, that you would see that would be doing it, aren't doing it, that might open up the desire for that to be the case. I mean, you have to understand people's mentality. Like, I would say, like I said, I wouldn't say I align with that. I don't agree with all of that, but it does come to fruition or come into your mind from something. And it's typically the influence around you. You seeing people around you doing it, or the media that you're consuming. That's how you see it. Think about simple stuff, even like, I mean, you see so many different family dynamics in TV shows and even cartoons that still have that nuclear family idea. Even though we are moving away from that, it's still like baked into our culture in a way. So, I mean, I feel like that's initially where the thought or idea comes from. But you also have to think about who's even getting married now. So people who are getting married, demographics I feel like are changing. Not as we get deeper in generations, people are getting married later. They're not getting married as young. They're probably not getting married in general as much, or higher.
They don't get married because they're young, because everybody thinks it's wrong to get married when you're young. They don't believe in getting married because people get divorces. So why a paper doesn't mean anything?
Mm-hmm.
That's a big old lie.
But these are the mentalities.
But my thing is, how do you become up with these stupid mentalities that makes no sense, but that you agree with? But then you get right into marriage and then go right into saying, "This is what I'm gonna do." If everything is stupid, like you sitting up here,
everything is stupid.
No, it just really is. It doesn't make sense. It's like, okay, I don't believe in marriage because people get divorced. Oh my God, people get divorced. I can't believe it. I'm just
okay. No.
Let's get really stupid.
Okay, wait.
It's just a piece of paper. It is.
Not like that, though.
It is. Why do people get divorced? Because I'm not happy. I'm not happy. It's never the other person. Is never your issue that you got to fix. It's always another person. The reason people don't stay married is because they don't want to work at it. Because I don't want to be like it was back in the day. You don't know how it was back in the day because you weren't there. You're picking and choosing the stuff that you want to say, but you weren't there. Well, I know my grandmother stayed with so-and-so because that was the way it was, and she couldn't take care of herself and all that. Well, if you got to get a divorce because now you know how to take care of yourself, there's a problem.
Please leave a like as you coming in. No, I'm gonna agree with you to an extent, but I'm also gonna extend this. If you're seeing unsuccessful marriage or grow up around people getting divorced, you're gonna see it as an option. That's just what happens. People take in.
So then you shouldn't have a problem if your boyfriend, because it's not your husband or wife, is cheating on you. Don't have a problem with it because you see it around you, surrounding you. People cheat all the time around you, surrounding. It doesn't stop you from dating. So if you're going to use that concept of stopping me from getting married, then you should not be dating anybody because you're not going to be holding on to a relationship because literally don't sit up here and say one thing But then when it's a whole other thing, well, it's not the same. It is the same. If you can't get married because everybody around me was married and they got a divorce, so I just feel like I shouldn't get married. Well, if that's the case, don't date because then you don't have to worry about somebody cheating or you feeling unhappy, or you could just, you with that person for 3 days and you pass them on, keep on going. Don't settle down with anybody.
Can't agree with that because people are naturally gonna have that longing for a partner.
No, you can't have a longing for a partner because you were surrounded by divorces.
So it doesn't add up in that extent. And when I was also
so now math is different now.
No, it's the same math.
It's not the same equation. No. If you're gonna agree with the bull crap, if you're gonna be with the bull crap of don't get married, if you're gonna be with the bull crap of don't get married because everybody around me got a divorce, then don't date because everybody around you have been broken up with people too, heartbroken and acting a fool and everything else.
No. So this is the thing.
Oh Lord.
This is the thing, because I'm not saying that it all of a sudden. I'm not saying for people who just rule it out completely. I'm saying in terms of the mentality of more, I guess, caution or trying to be more aware. If people are seeing that stuff around them, everybody sees people getting in relationships. Ties into even what we see on TV. You don't see everybody getting married. If you look at everyone who around you is married, even in media, you can see it as well. Divorces, all that different stuff. You typically are going to cling on to that and view that as an option. I mean,
you see it on TV, people breaking up, people cheating on people doing all those things, and it doesn't stop people from dating. It doesn't stop people from being in a relationship.
Because it's never going to.
So my thing is, don't pick and choose. Don't pick and choose. If you feel like you are a person that don't ever want to get married, then don't be in a relationship with anybody. Because you don't have any legal rights or anything to say what that person could do. That person could be with you and decide to be with somebody else, and you just deal with it because literally you have no legal rights of anything. And if that person die on you, that family can take everything from you and you can't do nothing about it because you're not legally married. Like if we gonna go there all the way. Don't pick and choose. That's what people always want to do, pick and choose and put it together and wonder why they never happy. Like, let's be real with the conversation. A marriage is a covenant. A marriage is a covenant between you and God in this relationship and the person that you're with. That's it. It ain't got nothing to do. The only reason most people get a divorce is because the communication sucks. They let other people into their relationship. They listen to stupid, crappy advice that doesn't mean anything in your relationship. And then there comes the cheating, which is usually, and I say it all the time, if you ain't like this in your marriage, yeah, you could be like this close, feeling like nothing can get between. It can get something can get between. You need to be one as you are, as one in this relationship, so you can have a relationship where it's no cheating. Now, there's some people that just get married to somebody that's a cheater. That's on you. You knew he was a cheater before you got married. You knew she was a cheater before you got married. It ain't like this some brand new news. Most people end up cheating in their marriage or in their relationship because they're missing something in their relationship. Am I saying they have every right to cheat? No. I'm just saying they're missing something. They're missing the connection. They're missing some love. They're missing some understanding. They're missing a piece of them because their other half is not giving them the piece. And so they ain't relying on God to show them and direct their path. They're relying on Satan. So that's where they go. And of course, Satan's going to get confused because he doesn't want any marriage together. If you just want to get real with the conversation. But don't sit there and make excuses saying, well, everybody sees divorce. And so that's why they don't want to get divorced. Everybody sees people in a relationship, breaking up with a relationship, can't keep a man, can't keep a woman, going through hell, and it ain't stopping nobody from being in a relationship.
Okay, here's two things I would say to that.
Okay.
For one, This is my first thing. I was speaking more in terms of the fear of being married. People have their own fears of getting married, whether that be their own expectations of marriage or, again, them seeing failing marriages around them, however way they're consuming it. And for two, what you say is relationships that's not stopping people. It is stopping people. We are right now at a time where we have some of the most lonely, like we are at a loneliness epidemic. People socially cannot talk. People are not connecting. if you even look cross country, they're looking at population problems because people are not getting together. Financially, people don't feel like they can do it. They don't feel like they're in a structure too. And if you look up again, like I said, the base level of connecting is communication. If you look at people's ability to communicate or the barriers around that are growing drastically.
But that's because society has came up with this thing. If I'm not happy, I can end things. So nobody wants to work on anything. Nobody wants to work on a relationship. And I think that that's stem from marriage. It's like you see people getting divorced left and right because they don't want to work on it because they go through, I'm not happy. Well, I'm sorry to let you know your husband is not supposed to make you happy. You should have joy within yourself. You should be able to say, let me work on me to make changes in this relationship. And then it'll change him. One thing I say, like even in I learned a lot like with men because I was married before and got a divorce, so I'm not acting like I'm as perfect and never had a divorce or anything like that. I'm just saying like what I learned is like when I got with my husband, he wasn't a talker. He ain't a talker now. Like let's just get with the conversation. So he wasn't a talker, and I could tell the people like he hung out with, they didn't really talk. They just drank, have a good time. Nobody really communicated. So when me and him got in one of our biggest first arguments as dating, he was really shocked because I'm like, I'm trying to hear what you have to say. And I think from his vision of everybody else, men weren't allowed to really say much. It was always going to be the woman's right. So he's like, yeah, you're right. And I was like, I'm not trying to be right. I'm trying to get you to understand my point of view. And I need to understand your point of view. And people don't take time to do that. They don't take time to do that in friendships. They don't take time to do that in relationships with their partners, their family, or anything. So I understand that communication part is hard.
Yeah.
That's why I when we're on this channel, I'm always explaining what communication is so you can learn. Not just when you're in a relationship with your partner, communication with your coworkers, your friends, your family. It's a really big thing that we are lacking thereof. And we text things and we do stuff and then we assume what this person's opinion or feeling is. I remember somebody told me I was yelling at them in text and I did not know. I was like, how'd they say I'm yelling? Because I did not know all caps meant yelling. And I'm like, so all caps mean yelling? I just accidentally hit the thing twice. I'm just trying to get the conversation out,
Yeah.
And I still do that. And I be like, I got to go all the way back because I put it all in caps. Because I don't want to
mean yelling.
Yeah, and I learned that, but I had never. That's not a lesson I learned.
Yeah.
I mean, I learned it. It is a lesson I learned, but
you don't retain that, especially
not that
when
retain that. When you first start texting, you don't know the rules. So ain't nobody say, "Oh, by the way, I know you're getting ready to start texting people. Don't put it all in caps because that means yelling." Ain't nobody telling nobody that. Because you say, "Why are you yelling at me?" And I'm like, "How the hell you say I'm yelling on the text? How can you yell on the text? Like." You don't know those things. So that's what I'm saying. Communication is really one of those things that is done. But I think a lot of reason why communication is not building like it's supposed to is because nobody's doing the other part of the communication, and that's listening.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be heard. Nobody wants to hear somebody. So you can have all this stuff to say, and nobody's like, I know, like people tell me all the time, you don't tell them your business. You say, you don't say nothing. A lot of times I don't, even though I'm a person that don't tell my business, I don't get a chance to tell my business because if I go, oh yeah, me and Chris is arguing about such and such and such. Oh yeah, because I remember when I went through such and such and such and such. And so now the conversation is all about them. It's no longer about me. So the conversation is, I'm not being heard anymore. So I'm not going to keep interrupting to say, no, I was talking about me. Because now you seem like you're selfish and it's being about you.
Yeah.
No, I was. And then, later on people go, well, you don't never talk about yourself. Because when I did, you interrupted and started talking about you. I'm not going to be able to talk to you because you're going to always interrupt me to say what you got to say. So communication is horrible now.
Yeah, it's extreme. It's in a bad way, and it's like you said, it's important in so many different areas, but it's not there's not a teaching for communication. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of stuff what people learn are what their families are doing or what people are around. I mean, that's all you really get.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really get a basis in terms of like, okay, how you should communicate, even like emotional, like maturity or anything like that. There's no conversations in terms of like how those structures
Yeah.
that are really important in life come and how you're supposed to balance those and balance yourself out. That's never really a conversation. You have to look for those conversations for yourself. I mean, luckily you got stuff like the internet if you feel like you are getting and hitting those barriers. But you know, in a physical sense, if other people aren't following or doing these same things, it's difficult. I mean, it comes from everything like we were even saying before, more like being positive. You don't hear too many people giving compliments, like just in general.
No, no.
I would say the only time I really see people give compliments is like women. Women are really good on giving somebody a compliment. I don't hear it all the time, but I hear decent, amount. Like, oh, that's a nice dress, or that's a nice.
Mm-hmm.
Men don't do compliments. There's a lot of different reasons, but typically men are not exchanging or getting too many compliments.
But that's not in a man's nature. I don't ever recall it being like that even back in the day. Like when they was dressing to the nines and they was always.
I'm saying even if you was dressing to the nines.
I'm saying even back in the day. Like, like women back in the day, we used to walk down the street holding hands. We could spend the night in each other and all lay in the same bed and nobody think nothing. It's totally different nowadays than it was when we were younger. Back in the day when men would wear suits and stuff, they were, man, you looking sharp. They didn't do that. It was always the woman that was giving a compliment. Yeah. But men would give women compliments and stuff like that. And they don't really do that much unless they want to, hit it and quit it,
If you look at the whole spectrum of things, people are not doing. Because, I mean, as much as we've worked in terms of social acceptance and all this different stuff, and we love everyone and accept everyone, at this point, compliments should be at a level where it is both everyone get a compliment. I mean, if you really think about it in that construct, but we don't do the simple stuff like that. We don't get into conversations that are,
and that's because we have in our mind totally different. You know what I mean? Like, if I give her, if I said she looked good, she already conceded. Like, we put in a notion that somebody else already feels conceded. We put in our notion, she thinks she's all that. So why would I give her a compliment?
Yeah.
Now I'm saying this for not all women, but for majority of women.
But it's the angle.
We have the mindset already. That's why we don't give compliments. Like, I could be like, oh, she look good. And I would tell somebody they look good, but then they'd be like, why you always telling somebody they look good? Like, you doing too much. You doing that because they look good. And I feel like they should be not. And when I was, more in my hype moment, if I saw one of my sisters on the street working, I'd be like, hey, girl, you doing that? Because, one, I don't see them doing, flagging or doing construction work and stuff like that. So I want to pump you up. If you only hear me today tell you how good you look, then you gonna get it. That's how I feel. Like, you can't pass me and I'm not gonna give you a compliment.
Yeah.
And I do that more for my sisters, because I do it for everybody, but I do it more for my sisters because we don't give each other enough compliments. We hate on each other too much because we already have in our mind so much stuff. So I always go above and beyond to give compliments. And I feel like in other races, they go above and beyond giving compliments. We the only ones that don't really give compliments to each other. And I'm like, no, you doing good. You bomb.
Yeah.
And even if I don't agree with what you're doing, you know what I mean? Like, you could be, I don't know. You can be doing something. I'm going to try to find something about you
to uplift,
to give you a compliment, because I feel like you might not get another compliment. And I don't know what you're going through. I don't know if today is the day you just want to give up. So if I see you and I give you a compliment, I might have saved your life.
Yeah.
Without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think in communication, we assume more than we try to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
We talk more than we want to listen.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't care if any of my friends call. I already know I am only there to listen to them. I am not there to talk. I got one friend that makes me talk. Like, she makes me talk. And even if she cuts me off, she'll go, okay, so you were talking about the so and so and so and so and so and so. Go ahead, because she know I don't forgot. So, so she like, you said blah 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 blah. Now go ahead, and she makes me make sure I try to remember. So she makes sure to hear what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's never just a one-way street in communication. She has very very good communication skills. I'm building up to having very communication skills because I know how important it is. I just didn't know how lack there we had of communication skills.
Yeah, the floor is already so down. We're gonna welcome somebody in. All right, we got Avencho's in the building saying, "What's up, Minority?" Lie, just looked at that ride or die short. I ain't loyal either. I got stipulation.
That's what I'm saying.
Let them know, Tanya. Talk about it.
That's right.
Welcome, man. So, all this to say, the whole thing that this all came from was the idea that where does the idea come from that as a wife you're supposed to cook clean, do all this different stuff?
Yeah, it just goes right into it.
It's like a snap. And I would say if I were to give an answer, I feel like it just comes from what we see.
And I don't see it. That's probably what that. Yeah. That's probably why I'm asking, because I don't see it. Like I see a lot when I see people in relationships, you know. Yeah. And I've been watching a lot of relationship conversations, and I remember seeing ones where Tamara Mann, she was on. I can't even think of the man's show. Tamara Mann and David Mann was on there, and she was talking about, I'm always looking glamorous, and you know, before we have sex, I take the bonnet off and whip my hair up and do that, and I'm like, oh, you do a lot. Then I have another person that was saying that, what'd she say? I can't even remember. It was something, I was like, I don't do that. Oh, I serve my man all the time, and nobody can serve my man a plate. My mom served all of us a plate. We all serve. And I'm like, principles, but I understand, like, when you say certain stuff like that, I believe you should say it as, that's how I do it because that's how I feel. Not but that's how it should be. They feel like everybody should do what they're doing, and it doesn't work that way.
But what you said is the whole reason why we're where we're at societally as well is because nobody takes their own mentality and say, this is how I want something.
Yeah.
That opening up the ears for everyone's opinions, for every idea, but they don't take for a second and think without all the social media, without the phone, without all the noise, and think, what do I actually want? What do I want in somebody? What do I want for me? What do I personally like? People don't even know their own hobbies. You can't have somebody who don't know what they like to do, you know, to kill time or for fun in a relationship that, I mean, you know, where you're trying to build everything around each other, you know? The person that you're getting to know will end up probably knowing more about you than yourself. So you're doing this exchange of back and forth, trying to, like, I don't know, like, cling on to these different ideas that are being spewed from other people.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't care, like, if you're trying different things in your relationship that works for you in your relationship, because that is, especially in the beginning of a relationship, that is something that you're doing.
That's foundation.
You're learning each other and learning what I can do for him and what he can do for me. It's a learning process. Mm-hmm. But say you got it, you nailed it. You know exactly what is working for you in your relationship. I can tell you what works for me and Chris's relationship.
Yeah.
And I would say, for our relationship, this works for us. Don't think about doing what I do, because it might not work for your relationship.
See, but this is, again, what I'm saying, the social media, everything, it's the structure. Everybody, when they get on a platform, even us right now, we're taking the angle where we like the main character. Even if we're saying something, we're saying it like what our feelings are. It's a direct expression. We're not filtering it saying, oh, this is what I do. A lot, and people who are the most influential in this area are the people who they say they're relationship gurus or life coaches or whatever. Their whole thing is the confidence and certainty of what they're saying.
But you can be confident and certain to say, this works well in our relationship.
Of course, at the end of the day.
Because I can work, my thing is, we can sit here and have a conversation. Like, I can have a conversation with a lot of people and get to know them. Like I would talk to you individually and I'll talk to you as a couple. I would watch your body language. I would watch who you are, and then I could say, oh, well, this don't work in your relationship, so y'all might as well cross that out. This don't work in your relationship. I can end up nitpicking to figure out and tell you most of the stuff that you should cut out, most of the stuff that you should make grow in your relationship. I can see it, like, and I believe a lot of people can.
Yeah, of course.
And so my thing is, yeah, but I will never ever portray that the way I do my relationship is something that will work for everybody else. When me and Chris does, I'm not gonna say it works for you and Avi. Mm-hmm. And what you and Avi does, I'm not gonna sit here and say you can't be telling me that's what works for me
in the world.
You know? And that's what I'm saying. So my thing is, sometimes people need to hear that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. And be like, hey, this works for our relationship. Yeah. This is what made us work. And this is how we came to find out this is what works for us. And then you explain and you can do that. So that gives now that person an idea of what they could do to try to find a way to see what works for them in their relationship. But if you're telling people to mimic you in your relationship, you causing another issue.
Yeah.
And now they separation and the divorce. And that's why we have such a big high divorce rate, because people are trying to mimic somebody else's relationship. And you don't have to do that. Yeah. You don't have to mimic. Like I said, me and Chris, we not the most talkative in our relationship. But when we talk, we communicate very clearly. We understand each other and we go. And even if we're not happy with the discussion, how it ended, we know how to come back and be like, okay, well, I know how you feel. You know how I feel. And we know now just to let it go. We might say mad in our feelings for a minute because, they're not a person in the world that don't want somebody to agree with them 100% and just follow their lead. Everybody's going to want that, especially if you're arguing. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is, what works for me and Chris is that I don't tell Chris every little thing that happens. I don't tell Chris. I can have a conversation with Elia, my daughter, so and so and so and so. Chris won't know nothing. And there's couples that they got to tell everything to their spouse and every little thing to their spouse. We don't have to do that. We don't have to tell each other every little thing. We tell each other the things that we need in our relationship to make sure it grows. And sometimes because me lack there sometimes of experience of doing that, and I always say I've been single too long, is that I have to remember to say, oh yeah, I decided we're gonna go to such and such. Do you want to go with us? I just be like, my husband going with me because that's what it is. So those are things I know I need to work on. And I say that, and anytime I give advice, I always give more than one way to do different things. And I always say, you got to find what works for you guys in your communication. Like you got to find it. Because you can't, like I said, I tell women all the time to get mad. You can't get mad at me because I don't want to tell you something because now you're going to tell your partner. I'm telling you, I'm not telling your partner, well, that's my man.
Mm-hmm. See, but that's the thing, though. I don't mean...
He ain't my man.
But even with what you're saying right now, that's the transparency in terms of, like, the problem solving, the problem, the imperfection, all of that.
Yeah.
People, when they get into marriage, because of what everything is, the stakes are raised, they have it that it has to be perfect. They feel like they can't be the normal person. They can't be... Let's say we got Jake. We can't be the regular Jake. Now we got to be married Jake, and he's the husband Jake, and he's complete 360 or 180. His life is completely different, and he does X, Y, and Z now. They don't, they have like this glamorized perfectionism to it. So,
and that's, I think, because they hear it all the time.
And exactly, and again,
and that's what I'm saying.
All of people, the preaching and testimonies in that light.
And that's why I said people need to listen to, like, my thing is, I'm agreeing. Listen to everybody. Like, I listen to, like I said, I listen to Dade and Tamala Mann and their discussion. I laughed, almost cried with them. I mean, I listened to it because I like inspiration. I love seeing married couples, and I love to see that they've been married 38 years, 39 years, how many years. I love that. That inspires me. Like, yes. But how they do things in their marriage is not something I'm not trying to reach that goal to be doing what you do in your marriage, because it's not going to work over here. Because one, I'm not doing it. Yeah. I'm not saying that my husband ain't going to love it.
But you just ain't.
I ain't gonna do
You
it.
ain't serving that plate.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I can start it for about 5 minutes, and then I'm done. Like, what we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
What happened that you don't have the 2 legs to get up and get your own plate?
Yeah.
Why is it like? I understand if I'm up and
Yeah.
I'm not really that hungry.
Bro, and I'm not really hungry. Lord.
I'll fix you a plate, and that made me be like, if we went to a friend's house,
Mm-hmm.
like you don't really know this friend, and we went to a friend's house. I'm more. My mind will go more into let me fix your plate. I'm at my mama's house. I ain't fixing you no plate. That's your mama's house too. You go over there and make a plate. Cause I know dang well if I was at your mama's house, I gotta go in there and make a plate. So now you're at my mom's house. You think I'm no? We're just not doing that. Like I'm not gonna act like you're 2 years old and you can't get your plate. That's just not what I'm gonna do. And I will, if we have a dinner table, we send the food on the dinner table and everybody grab the food. I'm not, oh, my man gets his plate first and all that. No, everybody gets to eat. Just grab the food.
Just handle business.
Just handle food. Now, if I'm doing plates one at a time, it's whatever plate I thought about at the moment because, oh, I might have put too much. So if I put too much food on that plate, then that's going to be Chris's plate. If it's too little, that's Avi's plate. If it's a medium big, that's, I give it to the size that it is. I'm not like, oh, I got to give the kids food first. Everybody's eating regardless of what time they eat. I'm just saying, ain't nobody lacking their food, and there's going to be seconds. So ain't nobody lacking their food. But in some households, they feel like, no, the man needs to be served first. Yeah. Or no, the kids need to be served first. And that's what it is.
Ideologies.
Yeah. And my thing is, I'm not even saying culture. I was just saying whatever you feel because literally, it is what it is. There's so many different.
I'm saying it's ingrained or they have took on that tradition even within families. Like we were watching the show 90 Day. They was over there in an Asian country, and they said the biggest person at the place eat first. That's how they do it.
Yeah, but we in America, and that's the one I'm talking to right now.
People, even within America, like you said, the customs that some people have. Oh,
they just make
the
up
head
stuff.
of the table, or the father, the men, whatever it is. They have their own structure.
That's what I'm saying. It's all over the place. So I don't think it's
there's no linear.
No, it's nothing. It's whatever you created in your mind to do it.
But that's everything, though.
No, and I understand that. But my thing is, what I'm saying is we need to stop following other people and just learn how to create what works best for us.
Yeah,
and even though you're listening to everybody say whatever they're doing, don't take it as that's what you have to do to have a perfect marriage or a relationship. Just go, okay, I can do that. I can't do that. Be honest with yourself because that person needs to love you for who you are, not for who you're trying to be over here because you're not going to be able to stay focused on being.
You can't upkeep that.
You can't because it's not in your heart to do it. It is not in my heart. The one thing Chris took 50 million years to teach me in our relationship. And I really literally say 50 years because I still mess up on it to this day. Is when I leave to give him a hug and kiss goodbye. And when I come back in to give him a hug and kiss goodbye. We've been married almost 27 years. And I'm just now doing it for the past year and a half or 2 years. It is still a struggle. I can still walk out the house and say bye and not do it. It is a struggle because it's not something, I know it's something that he would love and it makes him feel good. It does nothing, absolutely nothing for me. But I have to go, I'm doing it for him. This is what he's been wanting. He's been asking for it. It's now popping in my head to do it, so I'm going to do it. If it didn't pop in my head and he'd be like, well, you just love what I get, I'm sorry. Because it's something that I'm trying to get in habit of. Because I'm never that much in a rush where I got to leave and be like, I just didn't have time. Because I don't have that type of life anymore. You know what I mean? I don't think I ever did. But it was just, the thing is, I never understood it. And I always say sometimes things are hard to do if it doesn't click in your head. You don't get the dynamic of doing it. It doesn't click.
That's everything. You're not going to do, we do it sensible to us.
But my thing is, and that's the thing is, it's okay to learn. But the thing that we're missing out of here is the patience that Chris has had to deal with me on me not being able to do it. I did everything else that he ever needed or liked of what I did. But I could not do that. That was always been a problem. It was never a big thing where we argued about it or had a bit, but I know it was something like, dang, I can't even be important enough for this. So I'm like, Lenora, does it really hurt you to do it? No. Then get it in your head to do it. Like, make it a thing for you to do. And so I'm doing it. But like I said, it's not ingrained. But because the way our relationship, that didn't damage anything either.
Yeah.
Because he knew my heart and he knows it's hard for me to do it.
You know, you're standing.
And
yeah.
and he, and unlike a lot of people, he could see. Like he saw, well, I'm looking at her mom. And she's just like her mom. You can see it clearly of who I am. Like it's no like I'm doing it because I'm being a butthead, and then me and him broke up. I would do it for Tyrone. No, it's literally ingrained that it doesn't make sense in my head that I have to do this because I never felt like I'll let you know where I'm going. I can tell you every spot I'm gonna be and everything. But me doing that, me calling and checking in, no, that's not one of those things that I do. And
you ain't checking in?
I don't check in, and I don't really be like when Chris used to go out and do stuff. I never check. I never was like, oh, he need to check in on me. All he had to do was say, I'm going over to Fred's house, and I was done.
Yeah.
You know, if you came back home, you came back home. I have never been one of those women, but every woman around me was like, no, he was gone. He was out over at Frank's house for 6 hours. What was you doing over his house for 6 hours? I couldn't tell you how many hours Chris was at anybody's house because I wasn't on that. And I never put myself into a position to start being like that because my friends were like that. Because I didn't care. Like he told me where he was. I trust where he is. Now until he made it where I can't trust him, that's a whole different conversation. Mm-hmm. But as long as I trust him, I don't really care. Like I'm not a person that's gonna ever try to stop you from doing wrong. If you do wrong, then you do wrong. There's a consequences for your action of doing wrong. And that's just where I'm at. I'm not, so me knowing where you at every 5 seconds and I can't do that. That's not in my DNA to do that. Mm-hmm. But, when you watch people on social media or in the movies or something like that, you see that and then all of a sudden you want to dictate that into your life.
Yeah.
Why? That's too much energy. I just think it's too much energy. I see people looking for their men and why that person say they like it 10 times. I can't even tell you how to find like on somebody's Facebook page. Chris is on Facebook. I don't know if he liked anybody's page. I don't know how to look for it, nor do I want to know how to look for it. He likes somebody's page. He likes somebody's page. I don't care. But that's me. That doesn't mean Sally over here can't do that. That's just something I am not built to do. And understand it's okay both ways. It's okay both ways. If that's how y'all do y'all relationship, that's how y'all do y'all relationship. So I do mine, that's how mine. You don't think, oh, Lenore don't love her man good enough, and I'm going to think you guys got to talk to a relationship. And we both ain't in each other's relationship, so it really don't matter.
Yeah. It doesn't. Now, what I do want to say.
Okay.
Because I did title the video, Art of the Live.
Oh, I didn't know you titled it.
I did. So I wanted to get to that because, I don't want to be clickbaited, and at least eventually we get to the talking point that's in the title or thumbnail. So I'm going to explain the story.
Okay.
You give me your opinion. I feel like you have a unique angle on this one.
Okay.
Just because you're a parent. I mean, that's really that unique angle. You just have the understanding of a parent. So we're going to build this situation.
Okay.
All right. We got an older gentleman, he got with this girl at 17 years old. Mm-hmm. So he's 18. He's, getting stuff together, thinking about college or whatever future prospects. And, that's just where he was at.
Okay.
We're now, let's say he's 19 now. All right. He's kind of finding his footing, getting himself, but he's still living with his parents. Okay?
Okay.
So he's got a girlfriend. They've been together. Let's say a year, a little over a year, got some time together.
Okay.
And the girlfriend comes over to the house. All right, so the girlfriend came over to the house. And I guess with the parents and everything like that, whatever structure or whatever was laid out, they don't mind her actually staying over or sleeping over in the house. Okay? You're digesting that. So, They're chilling on the couch watching a movie, and there is a camera. Let's say, I mean, y'all can't necessarily see it, but I'll build the situation for y'all. Let's say it's up somewhere near like the ceiling. There's just a camera, and it's angled so you can see the living room and the entry points and a little bit of the exit point of the living room. So probably something like right there, if we were to say it in our space. And there's a camera there, and they just was kind of like chilling, doing their own thing. They're like, well, why is the camera right there like that? We chilling, we trying to have a little private moment. So they unplugged the camera. So starts with that. They unplug the camera. The mom texts and like, this is for security purposes why we have the camera. Like, could you just please plug the camera back in? So then, the son was like, I'm just from a privacy standpoint, like, I feel like we're just being surveillance to watch, like, it just kind of gives me a weird vibe. Is it okay if we just unplug it from this time and I'll always make sure I plug it back in? And she was fine with that. So they end up unplugging the camera and they just doing their normal thing. Well, some time comes by and again, the guy's girlfriend, I'm getting long-winded with this song.
You're so long-winded. That's why I hate when you do stories.
I'm gonna just cut to the chase. The guy's girlfriend, they having a little bit romantic moment. They didn't do anything sexual or anything, but they were flirting, kissing, hugged up on each other. And this is the girl who is from the girl's perspective. The next day, the guy's mom texts her talking about, you let that.
Oh, Lord.
I'm trying to find the words. I always try to censor myself. But she called her some names in my house, and this is why I don't like. She was saying she was being provocative. I don't like women like this in my house. You let this, let's say, tramp, for lack of a better word, in my house, and you're doing this, and sent a video of them. So she sent a video of them kissing, and obviously they removed the angle. So it turns out she installed another camera, and so the guy's girlfriend seen this. And she's, like heartbroken. She was like, oh, I thought we had a good relationship. Thought the mom didn't, mind me or anything like that. I tried to be respectful. We didn't do anything in the living room. We didn't cross the line or anything like that. We just cuddled up and kissed. And all that to say, I was for it to be as long-winded. How do you feel about that?
You mean you couldn't have shortened that out?
I could have.
Like literally, you couldn't short that out.
I could have shortened it out. So here's what I'll say. Let's simplify it. We got boyfriend, girlfriend in the house. They still living with the house. They felt like there was a little invasion of privacy with the living room camera. They removed it. The mom sent a text the following day after they got a little cuddled up and kissed and said, "This is why I don't like this. You got this."
You still long-winded.
Yeah.
You still
basically looking for the word.
I don't understand the mother. If she lets the girl spend the night, I don't understand.
She let her stay the night.
So I don't understand why the mom's tripping. I don't know why the mom.
But she's tripping though.
But she is, but I only got the girl's point of view, and that didn't help me with anything. Just to say that the mom apparently probably didn't like you from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because or thought maybe you were the reason why the son unplugged the thing and didn't like that because she wants to make sure ain't nobody doing nothing in the house. But without saying, I don't want you to be doing nothing in the house. Like that's all I can think of for that mother. She just she don't want that. But my thing is, it doesn't make sense to me as a mother because I'm not gonna want you to spend the night.
That's why I didn't understand.
I'm not gonna want you to spend the night.
How and
how are they spending the night? Is they in the same room spending the night?
Yeah, they in the same room. Yeah,
so they should
in the same room. That's why I never understood that. Point.
Yeah, so there's no real reason. The mom just wants to be mad, and some parents do that. Like I said, I had a friend. Her mom put her on punishment because she missed her.
Okay.
She didn't do nothing wrong. She just missed her, and we never understood it. That's just what it was, and that's how we grew up to her mom doing it. So when she was grounded, it was because she missed her. That was it. So parents do stuff weird and they have it in their mind that it makes sense to them.
Yeah.
And and you will ever understand until you have a child where your mind goes into a different type of protection mode and a different type of watch out. And what we don't want is anybody taking advantage of our kids. We don't want anybody to use our kids, to do anything to our kids. And if you can start controlling our child, we really don't like you. Like it's just automatically not like. You could have had a perfect relationship with her, but the moment he unplugged that camera, made it seem like if I'm letting you spend the night and you got to unplug the living room camera because you want some privacy, and I let you spend the night in my child's room, then she had a problem, and that is what caused the issue for her and them to break up. Now it might not have been the girl's idea at all; it could have been the son's idea, the whole thing. But she's gonna blame it on the girl because that's her baby, and she's gonna protect her baby, and that's just what it is. And
we gotta welcome somebody on the move. We got Anthony on the move. Didn't mean to cut you off. You said that's just her mentality.
That's just how her mentality is, and so.
But wasn't the son grown?
Yeah.
He's 18 or 19, but I don't know the mother's old school. We don't really want you to be in the household like that.
But
unless you're married. That's where it throws me off, where it doesn't make sense. I just think she has security. I think
she could survey like, look over it. But
to make sure wasn't happening or whatever. And she might not have ever liked you like that. Like she might not, and the camera was to make sure you was doing right. So she might, just because we are nice to you don't mean that we like you. That's the thing. I'm nice to every girl that my sons bring in. That don't mean I like all of them.
Yeah.
I barely liked any of them. Like, I can tolerate, and I would still give you good advice, and I would do everything. So you might think we just as close as could be, but I probably couldn't stand you. So, but I'm not in a relationship with them, so I let my kids do whatever they do. But I'm a different type of mother,
and everything like that. Like, how do you feel about all of that? You feel like it was reasonable?
It's her house, so she can do whatever she wants with her cameras. You ain't got nothing to do with it unless you paid off her house and paid her mortgage, and she ain't got no bills to pay because you took care of it. Literally, she can do whatever the heck she want to do. It's her house. You don't like it, you know what to do. Like, that's just where it is. I mean, we're not gonna act like her mother is wrong because she got cameras in the house. No, it's her house. She can do whatever she want with her house.
Definitely.
That's just what it is. But I could see the girl being confused. I could spend a night, but we can't have. But we gotta have the cameras in there. Now I'm a hoe and a tramp and all this other stuff.
It's like,
I can understand where the girl is confused, but understand she might never have liked you.
Okay, we gotta welcome somebody who's here and alive. We got James Money 615. Sing it.
Money, 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 money.
We got James. Welcome in, James. He says hello. And Anthony also said good evening, good people.
Good evening.
So, with that, I was long-winded with that, but I wanted to get your idea, your mentality. I'm going to shorten and sweeten this next one. Okay?
I don't believe you.
So, this right here starts with an interesting family dynamic.
Okay, let's do it this way.
What?
Just tell us what it is and then break everything down afterwards.
I'm gonna get into. I'll tell you. I have it already.
No. Because even when
just trust me for this one.
No, because you said that was the other one. You started being long. No, just actually tell us what the story's about and then break it down.
I'll just tell you. Okay, it starts with an interesting, strange family dynamic. She's been outside the country, and her, she's only been traveling back and forth to go see her family. Her brother married this woman, and she is a character. She kind of controls things. She's from a different country. She controls things, kind of got things the way she likes it, but everybody just kind of lets her do her own thing. They just kind of try to keep the respect only for the brother. So, anyway, after a long time of not necessarily seeing the family, she's had a son. He hasn't been able to get into the country because he wasn't old enough, so they got that stuff together. Yeah. This would be her son's first time kind of seeing the family and everyone all together, not doing separate visits and all that different stuff. So, and it's also his first time meeting his auntie. So, apparently while they were on this trip, like I said, she crosses the boundaries a lot. She actually said, she asked him, does he have a girlfriend? She said, you know what, if you do or you don't, I'll twerk on you. You can send her a video, and so she can be jealous. I got some older friends that I know, and I'll invite them over. Just don't tell your mom or anything like that. And he's just 18, and just doing some weird things, and just hearing that situation. How do you feel? Like, what would you do as a mother in that standpoint? He's only 18. I mean, he's a grown adult to an extent, but also, this is his aunt saying this stuff. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think.
Pause. I think. Pause.
That's exactly what it is. Because my thing is, this is what I want to say here. Okay. One, it should never have happened. Period. Okay. But two, it's because. Well, no, that's two. Two, it should never have happened. One is, that's your fault for allowing her to do whatever the hell she wanted to do since she's been there. Yeah. So she's doing whatever she wants to do. This is what you get on the product of doing that. If you don't set boundaries for people, they just gonna go buck wild.
Yeah. I will also say one of the details that she said as well. She initially was hitting on her. It's hitting on the woman who's even talking about this in the first place. She was hitting on her.
Who was that on her?
Her brother's wife. So her brother's wife was hitting on her and saying provocative things. She thought it was just a joke. So he told her, like, knock it off, like, I'm for real, like, don't do that. And so she stopped. But apparently she's makes those kind of remarks and says stuff like that here and there. But again, it was to her a different level when she just brought her son, trying to see her family, already kind of saying a couple things before they got into everything, and then just to hear this. And again, he was like not trying to say nothing. He didn't want to cause any drama, but he finally told her and was like, I don't know really how to feel about this. So what would you react with that? You saying that should have already, like, stuff should have already happened prior to it? Or, like, what is your idea on
it? She should have said, like I said, boundaries. I'm just saying, there's things that you can set boundaries. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you have to be rude, disrespectful, mean, or anything. You just say, we don't play that. Like, don't do that over here. What you do at your house is what you do at your house. It can't come over at my doorstep. You know what I mean?
But they at their doorstep.
No, it's at my doorstep because you are now. We have all allowed it, because that's the first thing you said, is that they just allow her to do whatever she wants to do. So you never set boundaries with her. Now that she crossed the line because she's messing with your 18-year-old son, and she want to twerk on your 18-year-old son and give your 18-year-old son all these older women, now you offended. But there's no way that she should have ever felt comfortable to say that. Yeah. Even if she said, I'll tell your mama, you know what, your mama a little crazy. I ain't got nothing to tell you. Maybe you should find you some other girls to be around taking pictures with, or do AI to make it look like you got some girls with you because to make the girl jealous. Like, literally, there's ways to do. She would have said it differently. Yeah. That's just how I look at it. I think you guys made it too comfortable for her, that she doesn't think anybody's gonna say anything to her. So even if he did tell his mom, which he did.
It don't mean
nothing happened, and apparently still nothing happened because you over here asking us, setting this record straight. Like, literally, I would have set the right. I would have put my foot down. Yeah. Don't you ever talk to my son like that. Don't you ever. I don't care. He's 18. He's 18, and he's my child. You ain't gonna twerk. You are with my brother, not on my son. You nasty a-ho. And then you shoot her in all kinds of names. She just would have been.
That's just the truth.
She would have been your little skank, your little this. I don't know why my brother wants you, because you're funky and then
that's really funky.
Yeah, you ain't clean down there, and since Hector was about, we would have. Her feelings would have been hurt. She would have never, ever in her life came to her, any of my kids after that conversation, because she's like, oh, she crazy. I thought I can do that because my husband liked me to do whatever, and everybody just agreed. But y'all didn't ever set boundaries. Yeah. And so now you're asking the question. And to me, if you got to ask this question, that means you still ain't set the boundaries. Now you're like, should I feel a certain way? Is that your child or not? Like, look, yeah, I would have felt a certain way. But I would have not only because I'm this type of person, I'd have been mad at myself for allowing it, because I was dumb enough to allow you to be even do anything. But for you to think you can do that with my child, no. You're not putting your nasty twerking A on my child. You put your nasty vagina, booty, and all that over somewhere else. You will not touch my child like that. He don't need to get no Krabby Patties from you.
Ooh.
He don't need to get nothing from you. Herbalicious, nothing. You take your little nasty, skanky A over there. And I'm telling
that's
you.
just the end of the conversation.
Yes, and I'm saying all the
I
words.
just want to understand.
Every word there is, I'm saying.
I shortened it enough for you, like you know that. Was,
No, you didn't shorten it
that
up for me.
was not that bad.
Oh, my
Honestly,
goodness.
that was not that bad.
And you know my attention span is only 5
But it wasn't
seconds.
that bad though. I told you the core, everything that you
You
need
could
to
just
know.
said the thing, and we could just went. I didn't need to know too much of the history, but
Well, I mean, because it just makes you think about.
but that's what I said. You
obviously
just said it in the
family
beginning,
dynamic.
and then said the history. Then we got it, but like you start off, and then we still trying to figure out what the story's about.
Okay, well, here's my last one. Okay,
Huh?
'cause we're just doing
You, thank
bulletproof
you.
round. All right,
Give
what's
me
it?
5 on that. That's your wife
We're doing
agreeing with me.
Spitfire rounds. This is the last
And
one.
now it's a Spitfire
This is
round.
the last. It's not nothing crazy. I'm saying back to back on the topic.
Okay, good.
This is the last topic that I selected for today.
Are you gonna actually tell
This
us
is
the
a
topic?
short one. This one
But can
itself
you
is
tell us
short.
the topic first?
It's the topic is the question.
You
Okay.
should time it and see how long it takes.
So
I know.
you can. This one is 15 seconds. All right. So we got this man,
Yeah, Abby.
and he is not well endowed. He's the opposite. He's actually micro. His meat is micro, and he actually has his love interest, his crush, and he wants to know should he pursue her, and if he does, like how is he doing it? Because he's having some confidence issues with his micro meat. What would you recommend?
23 seconds. Not 15.
Not
You lied.
I know he always lying. Okay, so
My goodness, tomato, right?
whatever.
The
My
question
thing
was
is
already
this.
out before. Okay,
Oh,
no,
please.
go ahead.
Ain't no, he gonna lie.
It was.
Yeah,
I said what
He
you should
said
do.
micro 3 different ways.
I just put some extra flair to it.
He
Put
micro, he
seasoning.
extra tight.
No,
He
I
like,
like,
added some
look,
seasoning on
really?
it.
Ants got bigger ones than him, and then we my thing is you're gonna have to be confident, and don't the biggest thing I think what messes a lot of people up
Yeah.
is the bragnation. Don't brag on the littleness.
Why we
If
can't
it's
have
little,
a brag nation?
No, you can't be bragging. Like that's false advertising.
What if you don't advertise it? What if you just already kind of like it's a confidence thing? So he's not.
But
gonna
my
do
thing
brag
is,
nation
this is
on
what
it.
I'm gonna just tell you. If you have a little thing,
Yeah.
if it's little, learn the woman's body so you can hit the right spot. So no, she won't care if it's little.
Okay.
But if you going in there like 12 inches down,
Yeah,
well,
all
she
this-
can't feel nothing, and you want her to fake moan. That's unfair. And then what a lot of people do, especially with the little itty bitty committee, they always want to brag about it. You don't never see a woman who got itty bitty boobs talking about I got big badunkadunks, I'm a size triple D, and then you come over there and they flat as a guy. No, you don't hear. We don't brag. You see what you get, and that's what you get. And don't throw a fit. There's no brag nation on it. We don't do that. For some reason, you guys want to sit there and hype yourself up. You hyping yourself up and making us feel good. And then when you take off your clothes, we're like, well, where is it?
Yeah.
Are we
dudes would
are we
brother like
mining
that.
for gold? Like, what is it? Is it a disappearing night? So then we're thinking,
Not disappearing.
okay,
Mine for gold.
maybe because it's shrink, it's gonna grow into this big log, and then it
Big
just
log?
grows, and then it just grows into a pebble. And now we really mad because why was you bragging?
Okay, so here's the thing. Obviously, to
And
me-
stop trying to whip it up to show them. Don't do that. Kind of like, I'm gonna give it to you really good, and then you can see the littleness, because then you'd be like, well, he's little, but he know how to work it. But a lot of times y'all don't even want to learn how to work it. Y'all don't even know how many spots we got down there.
So what
And
you
women
should
don't know how
say-
many spots they got down there. So we should know.